All right, today is day 20 of how to build your swing in 30 days. Today we're going to finish up the transition from the top into your downswing. We're going to focus on especially what your hand should be doing. So if you're somebody who really struggles with missing the ball to the right, today is going to be a great video for you to basically teach you how to square your club face up in the proper way. So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, and we're going to go ahead and get going on the last video of our downswing transition. All right, so today's day 20. We're going to finish up the transition and what your hand should be doing. Okay, so a lot of us miss the ball to the right. A lot of it could be explained due to your path. Okay, but today we're going to really teach you, help you to focus on what your hand should be doing, because a lot of the time we don't basically release our hands fast enough for in a proper way. We try to wait until the last minute, and that's what gets us into a lot of trouble. So what I want you to do is when you get to the top of your backswing, all right, and we know this wrist should be flat or it should be bowed at this point in time in your swing, all right. If you're missing the ball to the right, you might just be pulling your hands down and you start to get into a cupped position, all right, cup position, all right. So this is a flex position, this is a cup position, all right. A lot of times we see people pull down, they get into this cup position, the club face comes through open, and then in the last minute they really try to flip their hands and to square it up. All right, which is great, except it only happens occasionally to be successful. All right, so we know we have to release our hands. All right, you can get away with it with a shorter iron as far as closing your hands a little bit later, just because the club isn't as long. All right, but if you extend into longer clubs, long irons, 3-woods drivers, all right, if you're waiting until the last minute to release your hands, you're going to have a very low success rate, and you're going to miss a lot of stuff to the right. You're going to thin a lot of stuff. All right, so what you need to be doing is when you get to that top of that backswing, all right, make sure that wrist position is correct. I want you to feel like either your wrist starts to bow down, or you can even think of your club face, feel like it starts to face the ground. Okay, kind of like a slap shot type feeling. All right, everybody has a different feeling when it comes to how do I close the club face. All right, but for me, closing the club face is I can feel it more than what I can feel it with just feeling my hands turn. Okay, this is going to help you straighten it out. All right, if you have a really high ball flight, you're probably a person who kind of flips it to save it at the end. You're not really holding a good angle into your impact. So get to the top of that swing, and I want you to really practice feeling like that toe of that club is closing down as it comes down to the golf ball. All right, it's got to happen as soon as you get to the top. We do our transition. That club, the longer the club is, the earlier you need to start feeling your hands close down. All right, so it's a pretty simple idea, okay? And I don't want to give you too many things to think about when it comes to that. All right, just really feel like, man, I need to close it down as soon as I get it to the top of my backswing and I start my transition. All right, don't wait until the last minute. If you wait until the last minute, you're going to hit a lot of spinners. You're really going to struggle with that distance. All right, so remember, getting to our good transition. As we get to the top, we start the transition, and then the hands automatically, they need to start closing that face down so you can come into it square. It's also going to help you actually start to lag the club better. All right, so just a little bit of tips on your hands and your transition, and we'll go ahead and get started on our next video.